Welcome to Party My Imagination. I'm Imagination and you're the Imaginers. Welcome if this is your first time. My name is Jasmine and welcome back if this is your second or third or however many times you click my channel. Welcome. As you can tell from the title, I'm going to be doing a book haul. So, my boyfriend and I, look at that proper grammar right there. My boyfriend and I went to his family reunion down in Georgia / Alabama. Like literally we were on the border. Like 1 minute we're in Georgia, the next minute we're in Alabama, and then we kept walking back and forth. But anyways, yeah. So while we were driving back, I was like, oh, babe, we should definitely go to like half-price bookstores because y'all know I had a half-price bookstores when I lived in Washington, and I didn't have one. They don't have one here in North Carolina, but they had one in Georgia. So when we were driving back, we decided to stop by. And fun fact, when we got there, he was like, oh, you got 30 minutes. And then 30 minutes turned into an hour. So, you know, there's that. But I also do have some books here that are not from half price books, and I just bought them from either Barnes & Noble or Barnes & Noble. So let's just get into the book haul. Okay, if you hear a little whooshing sound, it's because the AC's on. Nothing I can do about it. It is what it is. I tried to turn the AC off, but it didn't work. So I'm going to start with 2 books that were sent to me kindly by Penguin Teen. If you didn't know, I'm a Penguin Teen influencer. So I get books sent to me. Yeah. Or I request books and I get approved or don't get approved, whatever. But the first one that I got sent to me was How to Succeed in Witchcraft by Alison Brophy. This comes out in September, so I will be reading this in September. Probably, yeah, it'll be in September. But this book was kindly sent to me, and I can't remember what this is about, but something to do with a girl pretty much getting a dream ticket to her university, and that's pretty much all I remember. Alright, the next book that got sent to me is the Davenports by Crystal Marquise, and this comes out in January 2023. Probably won't be reading this as soon as I need to, but I do have other books that I need to read. So, yeah, but this was kindly sent to me. And this is like a 1920 it's like pretty much dealing with Chicago and featuring an all-black main cast, and pretty much dealing with like black families and wealth back in the day and around that whole center. Sounds fabulous. I know a lot of people have already read this and are looking forward to reading it. So, yes, this was sent to me. Alright, the next couple books are books that I bought, and I bought this one. Barnes & Noble was doing the 50% off. Although I know everybody be going crazy about that deal, but it's not really a deal. It's kind of like low-key a scam. I mean, it's not a scam, obviously, because it's getting 50% off. But every single year, everyone always forgets to tell everyone that it's select titles only. So it's not like you can go in and every book is 50% off. No, it's on select titles. So, and then from what I can tell, it's select titles depending on your store. So your store pretty much picks what titles are going on sale, 50% off, and then they have the online. So the online is obviously select titles as well. But yes, these are some of the books that I picked up when we were in Barnes. Alright, the first one that I have here is Fire Punch by Tatsuki Fujimoto. I actually read this on not webtoons. I found this online and it was really, really good. But it's pretty much following these orphanage siblings. They are 2 blessed humans who hold special abilities, but pretty much they're in a war and he pretty much kicks ass. So I was extremely happy to find this, and I think we found this in the Barnes & Noble in Atlanta, right? No, Georgia. Didn't we go to Barnes & Noble when we were down at the family reunion? We went to Half Price Books, but I don't remember getting this in.
That was an Augusta.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So, dang, it's been that long. So in July, I was in school for 3 weeks down in Augusta, Georgia. And he came up and visited me while I was there, and we went to Barnes & Noble in Augusta, and that's where I picked it. Alright, the next one I picked up is Killing Stalkers, the deluxe edition. This is what's this? Koji. Story and art by Koji. I don't know if you guys can see from this far, and the flare on this plastic is probably. But yeah, this is pretty much following this dude who falls in love with this other dude. And he falls in love. It says Yoon Bum, a scrawny and quiet man, has a crush on one of the most popular and handsome guys in his college, Sang-woo. After the two cross paths again, Yoon Bum's feelings grow intensely until they become an obsession, and he breaks into Sang-woo's home. But what he sees inside is not the Sang-woo of his fantasies. His dreams of this alluring man abruptly turns into a nightmare. Dun dun dun! It's in plastic, so obviously it's mature content only. This one is also explicit, and had plastic on it. I took it off, but this has explicit content as well. So both of these mangas are mature. All right, these are the ones that I got in the picture it off, and this one is The Chosen and the Beautiful by Bois. Wow. I can't remember what this is about, but I do know it's about a society in the 1920s, and that's all I need to know. I've been wanting to pick this book up forever, and then I seen it with the 50% off sticker, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go ahead and get this. Next, I got Dele, Weds, Destiny by Tomi Obaro, excuse me. I have no idea what this is about, and I feel like you guys know why I picked this book up. Because of the cover. I picked this book up because of the cover. It says the story of three once inseparable college friends in Nigeria who reunite after 30 years for a lavish wedding in Lagos, a sparkling debut novel about mothers and daughters' culture and classes, sex and love, and the extraordinary resilience of female friendship. Sounds like a good time to me. The cover is everything that I ever needed in my life. And yes, I picked it up. Alright, the next book I picked up is Hacienda by Isabel Cañas. I gotta work on that. But yeah, again, I picked this up because of the cover. But also it said because this is why I picked it up really. It said Mexican Gothic meets Rebecca in this debut supernatural suspense novel set in the aftermath of the Mexican War of Independence about a remote home, a sinister haunting, and women who pulled into their clutches. That's all I need to know. But I genuinely picked this up because of the cover and because the author was PSC. Alright, again, I've seen this on Holy Heart's channel. And I've been seeing it around actually other places, but I've seen it on her channel, and I was like, oh, that book looks good, and it's a weapon, so you always know I love a book that's a weapon, so there's that. But this is the first binding by R.R. Virdi. Sure. We don't know. The first novel of the Epic Phoenix series. I honestly have no idea what this is about. So we're just gonna love it to love it. And it says all legends are born of truth and just as much lies. These are mine. Judge me for what you will, but you will hear my story first. There you go. There it is. Alright, and the last book I picked up for the 50% off or whatever is Women of Light by Kali Hajardo Einstein. Sorry. Yeah. Don't even still. Also book cover. This is why I bought it because it's giving Native American vibes, but it's giving indigenous native vibes. That's what I got from it. I believe the author is no, she's Native American. She's indigenous, I think. But don't get me wrong, because I don't want to miss culture someone. A dazzling epic of betrayal, love, and fate that spans 5 generations of the indigenous Chicano Chicano family in the American West from the author of the Nair. Yeah. So, and this is also the author of Sabrina and Karina, and I read that book and I loved it so very much, so I knew that I was going to love this one as well. I realized that this name was very familiar. Now I know why. Even though it literally says it right there. I'm not the brightest cookie in the bunch. What I have here is the love songs of Bois. This is by the Honoré Van Noe Jeffers. Yeah, this is just about Web Du Bois. I don't really know how much I need to say about that. I have never read any of his works. And I was actually going to pick up his works because I read Angel of Greenwood, which is one of my favorite books. It's by Randy Pink. I thought I had it on my shelf over here on this is my favorite stack. Well, some of my favorites. But I thought I had it, but I think I have it over there in my Black Authors. But yeah, it was one of my favorite books that I read last year. It was so good. And I highly recommend it. I have a book review of it on my channel. I will link it here in the description wherever I'm supposed to, so go ahead and check that video out if you want to do it. But yeah, they talked a lot about this book or this author in that book, and I was actually really pick up his works. And I should also pick up his works because he was a well-known Black author back in the day. I don't have room, babe.
Whatever.
I ain't got room.
Do you have room?
No.
I tried to tell you, you weren't sure if you did.
You know what?
I mean, I had the book. You know your book.
I think I have just enough room. Right. Okay, the next book I have is Goddess and the Sheep by Lora Beth Johnson, and I've already read this book actually, but I have the art version of this, and I do want to continue on with the series. I really, really, really enjoyed it, and I need to, and I think the next one is something in the Fate or something like that. Yeah. I really love this book, and it has gold pages. So I'm assuming this is the something edition. It's probably some fancy edition that I don't know. And it's signed?
Is it really?
Yeah. Boy, I got them. Because this is only $9. And they be charging like $20 for a signed edition. Yeah, buddy. Mm-hmm. We do. So this book is following this girl named Andrea. Or Andrea. Yeah, it's following this girl named Andrea who pretty much wakes up in like this planet where she's like, what the fuck? And she's just like, all she can remember is that she got put to sleep and everybody else was supposed to be. She volunteered for this program to put to sleep to get sent to this world to pretty much find a new habitat for the people that were on Earth. And then it's like year 3102 and she's waking up and they're like, what the heck? And you're just following her story. And then there's another main character that his name is something. Jade or something like that. And he's like an exiled prince, I think. Yeah, he's an exiled prince. She doesn't know that at the time, but he ends up finding her and that he's the one that ends up waking her up or whatever. And it's just following their story. And I thought it was really good, so I really need to read the second one. Alright, the next book that I got was Hide by Kristen White. I keep saying Kristen, right? But I think her name is not Kristen. Keristen, I think. It might be Kristen. Keristen White. She's the author of Anti-Darken. I love Anti-Darken. I love that series. She is low-key an alibi for me, even though that's the only series that I've read from her. But I really, really enjoyed it. I don't know what this book is about. I do know that this is her newish release. High stakes, hide and seek competition turns deadly in this dark supernatural thriller from New York. Yeah. So it's pretty much just a hide and seek supernatural thriller. That sounds amazing. Sounds like everything I ever needed in a book from one of my favorite authors. Okay, and the next book I bought is Starsight. This is Skyward, Brandon Sanderson. And now I realize that although I bought this one, in my last book haul, you guys know that I purchased this one. You see the difference? Which is absolutely just a no-go for me. But it is what it is. I have both of them, and I'll probably just keep both of them because I don't feel like trading them and trying to find the other version of it. So it is what it is. I've been waiting to get my hands on this book forever, and that is Worshipful Words of Old by Lora and Lee. First of all, this cover. This is the only reason why I ever wanted this book. Because this cover. And yeah, this is everything I ever needed. They paid $20 for this book. I paid $8.99 for it. The receipt is still in here. So like they just literally didn't even read the book. Oh my god, it has the customer's name on it and everything. Wow. But yeah, I have no family, no home, no talent other than fighting. If I'm not to be the shadow, then I am nothing. I am tired of being nothing. Bum bum bum. That's all I know. That's all I need to know. This cover is just so beautiful. 21 minutes? Why I'm talking so long? Blah 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 blah. Blah blah blah. Yeah, I've been talking for 21 minutes. Alright, the next book that my boyfriend kindly got me is Ports of Shadow, the Chronicle of the Black Company by Glen Cook. And, woo, baby, this book was $20. It's a $25 book. But it's also, I believe, it's adult. So, that makes sense. That it was still $20. And I think this was I think this is a new release. Don't quote me. I don't be knowing. I just be saying shit. Y'all know me. No, that lie just came out in 2018. Anyways, it's adult, and it says pretty much, do the job, get paid, survive. I really wanted it because of the cover. Alright, so they did have, if you didn't know, Half Price Books has comic books as well. They have comic books, Funkos, DVDs, vinyls, CDs, and books. But, anyways, he was looking through some comic books because he's always looking for Spider-Man comic books. Not any Spider-Man, but like old Spider-Man comic books to collect. He can't hear me right now, but yeah. Anyways, he was looking at comic books, so I started looking at comic books, and I picked up the Weatherman, and I honestly picked it up because of the cover. It's probably glaring in your guys' face, so I'm sorry, but the cover was giving me everything that I needed, and it is the full series, issues 1 through 6, so it's a complete collection, and it only cost me $12. The next book I picked up was Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers, and I've been wanting to read this. I know people were raving about this book, and I kept checking it out on my Hoopla, but I rarely use my Hoopla, so it's like out of sight, out of mind, and I would just forget about it, and I didn't own it, so my eyes weren't on it. Then I finally seen it, and I was like, I definitely have to pick this book up. So I went ahead and I picked it up, but I think I actually have no idea what this book is about. With her newly completed PhD in astrology in hand, Grace Porter goes on a girls' trip to Vegas to celebrate. She's a straight-A, hard-working, high achiever. She is not the kind of person who goes to Vegas and gets drunkenly married to a woman whose name she doesn't know until she does exactly that. Bada bing, bada boom. Sounds like something I'm gonna love. Alright, the next book I picked up was Storm Crow by Kalynn Josephson. I picked this up because of the cover. I had seen it plenty of times on BookTube, seen it around on Barnes & Noble. I finally picked it up for $7.99, and yeah, I don't know what it's about. It's a fantasy, I know that. I think so. Either way, I wanted it, so I picked it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like y'all know that about me. So, like, The next book I picked up was Jade, Fire Gold by June C.L. Tan. And I'm just trying to pull it off. Yeah, bam. Something was awakening, a dark power I had no control over, a power that would save or destroy me. The world thinks I'm dead, and I want to keep it that way until I'm ready to take back what's mine. Yeah. Honestly, y'all know why I picked it up. I don't even know why y'all asking me. About it being about a bone. Alright, the next book I picked up is The Care and Feeding of Ravenously Hungry Girls by Anissa Gray. I picked this book up because of the cover. Like, that's all I have to say. It says, the mothers meet an American marriage in this dazzling debut novel about mothers and daughters, identity and family, and how their relationships will sustain you, and also be the ones that consume you. That's it. That's all I need to know. I literally picked it up because this cover is just actually gorgeous. Alright, the next book I got is Obaro, So Bold and Deadly. This is the second installment. Like, they're attached, but they're not attached. Like, it's not following this interest. The first book is A Curse So Dark and Lonely. Oh, this is by Birgid. Sure. Kemmerer. No, because literally Kemmerer. 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 Anyways, yeah, the first book is A Curse So Dark and Lonely. So it's not following Harper, A Curse So Dark and Lonely, but it is in the same city, I believe, which is Emberfall. So it's following two other new characters. I'm assuming that are going to be pulled from that story into this one, but I don't know. And this is the second one. It's called the Cursebreaker series. So it is a series, but just within the same world and not necessarily. It's kind of like Shadow and Bone, Six of Crows kind of thing. That's what I'm kind of thinking of from it. And the last one is actually called A Heart So Fierce and Broken. And I was going to pick it up because they did have it, but I was like, no, I'm just going to buy another book. Because, yeah, whatever. The next book that I picked up is Cinderella is Dead by Kalynn. And I believe this is her debut novel, but I did end up reading This Poison Heart. I think it's called This Poison Heart. I'm reading the second one right now, so I should know what the first one is called. I believe it's This Poison Heart. Yeah, it is. Which is also funny because the back of this book is blurbed by the author of A Curse So Dark and Lonely, which is the book that I just had up. Yeah. Obviously this is the Cinderella retelling. It's been 200 years since Cinderella found her prince, but the fairy tale is over. Yeah. That's it. That's all I know. I know I'm gonna love this because I love This Poison Heart, and I am loving This Wicked Fate right now. So she's probably gonna be another favorite author of mine. So yeah, I'm excited to get this. I don't have any more room to stuff my books. Alright, so this book right here, let me tell you how. Me and Wesley were fighting for this book in the bookstore because I was like, first of all, what do you need this book for? Because it's the second book, the third book.
Who saw it first?
It doesn't matter. You don't even own it. You don't even own the first two.
I thought it was the first.
That is The Emperor of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty. And I don't have the matching.
Oh, that's right. You got the paperback.
No, I don't have the. He thinks I have the paperback version.
Hold up. No. It was one that you told me that paperback.
I don't have the paperback version. What I said is that I have two different editions. Okay. This is the first one, A City of Brass. Mm-hmm. This is the second one, Kingdom of Copper. But as you can tell, it's a different edition. Yes, but everyone really wants this edition, but they couldn't find it. But I also really love this edition, so I might end up just buying both editions. But yeah, this is the third book, and there's no reason for you to buy the third book.
Why? I can't start my own collection.
You could, but where are you going to put it? You ain't got no shelf room.
And you do?
Yeah, I sure
What
do.
you got?
I do have shelf room. Once I actually take the box off of the shelf. You just mad
You got
because...
more ain't nobody mad. You talking about I'm mad.
Because this book is gorgeous and the series is so good.
That shit was glimmering in my eyes.
It was, and I got it for $14.99. How much this book really cost? $30. But yeah, this is the third book in the series. The series is pretty much following this girl. It's following this girl who lives in a world with magic, and she be doing these like little fake thingies, like not sorcery, but gypsies. She does like this little gypsy thing, and she'll be saying these things, and then she ends up she ends up saying one, and then bringing this Ngin back from the dead or undead or whatever. Then she has to go on this trip to like, I don't know, like unbanish. I read the book a while ago. I probably need to reread it just because, but it was really good. Like I remember the main points of it, but just like the ins and out of it. It's really good. So I'm glad that I have the third one because maybe I can just binge it. We can like buddy read it. Bet you see that like. Now y'all know me. It wouldn't be a book haul if I didn't have books from the dollar store because yes. So these books that we did actually get when we were at the family reunion. We were at the dollar store. It was me, Wesley, and his brother. And first of all, I done turned this man into a book scavenge, okay? Because he was literally sitting there and he was all reading all the books, and I was just like, you know me, at this point, I already know which ones to grab. I already know which ones I'm going to be interested in, just based off the cover. I can kind of tell what kind of story it is, if it's contemporary, thriller, suspense, fantasy, the whole shebang. He'd be sitting there reading all this shit. I don't do that. But the first one I picked up was The Blade of Black, Still by Alex Marshall. This is the second one because 9 times out of 10, the dollar store is always going to sell the second book or the third book in the series. That's one thing I have noticed. They sell the second or third. Sometimes they'll sell the first, but it's very slim. But this is the second one, so I have no idea what it's about. And now that I see it, now I gotta remember it so I can find it. Yeah, I need to find the first one. So yes. Good.
That's why I misconstrued you getting the paperback because I got the paperback.
Yeah.
This is the first one, isn't it?
Yep, it is. Alright, the next book I picked up was As Many Nows as I Can Get by Shauna Dolly? Yeah. Honestly, I just picked it up because of the cover. Couldn't tell you what it's about though. No clue. In one impulsive moment that summer before they leave for college, overachievers Scarlett and David plunge into an irresistible swirl of romance, particle physics, and questionable decisions. So if you like science, I guess. I said science, but math. Yeah? Both? Physics is kind of both? Whatever. Y'all know. And last but not least, I picked The Great Unknown End. The Great Unknowable End. Wow. By Catherine Ormsby. Again, also don't know what this is about. But I picked it up because of the cover. And that's it.
Yeah, Better Call Saul vibes.
Better Call Saul vibes. Better Call Sal. He likes weird books, man.
No, I like crime.
You like crime and thriller and just boring.
How is that boring? I do like fantasy. I like murder mystery.
Exactly. You like crime, and crime. Oh my God. You have a very particular taste in books. And there's nothing wrong with that.
But I'm like you as far as nonfiction goes.
Yeah. Like you have this little pile of books. I'm just like overwhelmed with this little pile of books.
I need to finish
my
like before I start buying other stuff.
Okay. You really just said that her child. That is not going to happen. Alright, those are all the books that I've had that I hauled in the last month. Yeah, it's been 2 months. July and August combined. And yeah. That is all that I have for you guys today. Be sure to check my description where you can find easy ways to contact me as well as the book and videos that I talked about. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if not, just imagine how you didn't come back again. Until next time,